Trading is closed on October 3rd, 2022. Let's do our disclaimer first, go over our predictions and make some calls. It's my trading plan for the 4th of October, tomorrow. Please remember I can be completely wrong, and any trade you make should be at your own risk. Well, Friday was a total collapse. We had a higher target, 36.42.28. I said, unless we gap down smartly, that should print, and we didn't gap down smartly, obviously, so that did print. We said these things usually follow through. When they don't, it's a pretty bullish pattern, and we said that the wall into the close made this late drop suspicious. This is just to review what we said. We said we couldn't be certain until the open, but from the open, it was compatible with the long scenario playing out. Now, this was the pattern with the early high, and tomorrow's pattern, I believe, will have the early low. We did get a signal here to buy from MEJT, but the minimum target printed immediately. You don't have to get more than the minimum. Doesn't mean you won't. Just means it's not one of the things that the system predicts. Here was last month's close under the Bollinger Band, the lower band. It's not a place I tend to look to initiate shorts. Here's the weekly chart. We said that if we traded 1 cent below Friday's close, that would be a break of support. So we had gone as far as we could go down by DeMark's methodology without support breaking. So it recovered at the last possible moment for it to recover. Now, of course, nothing's guaranteed. I mean, if we gap down tomorrow, this recovery doesn't mean much. You really have to go over today's close by 1 cent. But because everything else lined up, I'm hoping that Friday's close will hold. If it doesn't, then I'm just wrong. We could rally here. The next resistance I have is at and just past this TDST line, which is 41.66.45. So we're talking 10%. Doesn't mean it goes up tomorrow. This is a gap inside a consolidation. Gaps don't have to fill, but when they're inside a consolidation, they usually do at some point. That close was 41.10.41. So it's another sign that we could have a significant rally from this point. We did print bar number 13 of a DeMark sequential buy signal. The last bar can finish early. So far everything is playing out. You still need confirmation with anything, but we certainly had extreme sentiment readings at this low, plus all the other things that we pointed out. Well, here's our weekly chart. We're counting this as an ABC, complete on the downside, and whether it's the end of C or whether it's just A of C, that's something I can't really say at this time. I can explain either scenario. Here's the daily chart. Again, this ABC could be done, or it could be just ABC of a larger wave green C. At this point, you don't know, but I'm just hoping that low holds. And if it doesn't hold, at least the stop is reasonably close at this point. Now, we did stop right at resistance. This green line is a prior FOMC announcement price from many months ago. It's just a wonderful thing how these things give you support resistance levels even well after they're announced. If you look at this move up here, you can count it as an A, a B, and C being 0.618 equal to A. So we hit resistance. If we do stop here, at least you could explain it. The ideal situation is to have 3 waves down and find support at some kind of Fibonacci retrace. Now if you look, from this high to this low, you've got Fib hits right at the MEJT line and right at today's close. It implies, but doesn't guarantee, that this is going to form the extremes of the range, and you're going to be consolidating within the range. I think at some point you'll break out. As far as where support is, if we drop first, well, if you go back 50%, you're pretty close to this MEJT target that was hit today around 36.42. I don't know if we'll be lucky enough to get that print, but if we do, it's support level even though it's already printed. It blew through it here. It wouldn't surprise me if we touched it again. It's not a requirement. But if it prints and if you get 3 waves down, which balance out at that price, at least you can think about it along with a stop here, although if we went past it by too much, I don't know if I wait for that. When it's early in these reversals, you can always get fooled. In any event, this looks like the kind of rally I wanted to see if that were the low. Whether it's the low or just a low, I don't know, but I think this certainly, if it gets legs, has the potential to go into and actually through the 4100s. We have one possible target, 4201, that we showed before. So my plan is to look for pullbacks to go long. Now tomorrow's pattern has the early low. We could still gap up. The wall with gap pattern is unstable. It should fill at some time, usually by Wednesday's open. If it doesn't fill by then, it doesn't have to fill anytime soon. I've seen some of these that filled months later. So if it doesn't fill by Wednesday, I'm not going to use that. Because we hit a low right when we add to, I'm hoping that gap is not going to fill in that time frame. There may be some consolidation here, but ideally, we should find support of the Fib retracement of this rally. And so long as Fridays hold, I expect to see higher prices. Plan to use pullbacks to go long. Just because everything is played out according to plan so far doesn't mean it has to keep doing it. But until it gets invalidated, I think it's a reasonable plan, particularly when you have your stop at not too far from where we are now. So tomorrow has the early low. We could consolidate here using pullbacks to buy. I have significantly higher targets as long as this low holds. And that's today's call.